Okay, so for this technique we are going to use applique. Applique is where you join two fabrics together. So the first thing that I'm going to do, I've got my lovely print of the houses and I've chosen this sea-like colour. You can use pins to hold your work into place, but because I know 100% that I am going to put it there, you can also use Pritt stick, which is good at keeping things in place. So I'm just putting a light amount on, I don't need too much, just enough to stick it in place. You could even use Bonder web. There's lots of adhesive things that you could use. Right, so I've got that in place now, and to secure it even further, what I'm going to do is embroider into it. So I've got a nice selection of different embroidery threads, and I'm just going to choose one that contrasts quite well with the blue. I'm working with a sea-like theme, sea-like colours. So a good way of picking what thread goes is just laying them on top and just checking to see what you like. I quite like this one, so I'm going to use this colour. So if you just hold your embroidery thread and rather than unravelling the packaging, if you just pull on it, you'll be able to get the thread off it without turning it into a tangly mess. So I'm just going to pull off as much as I need, about that much, and then snip. Okay, so when you are applying the two pieces of fabrics and you're using embroidery techniques, you can use as many different ones as you want, the more the better. So some of the basic ones that we've been using are running stitch, back stitch, cross stitch. So all I'm going to do, I've threaded my needle, I've got one short bit, one long bit, and on the long bit what I'm going to do is just tie a knot at the end. Just like that. So we come up through the back, and I'm thinking I'm going to start just going around the building. And then the thread, as much as the Pritt stick's holding it in place, the thread will really hold it in place. So the technique that I'm going to go for is a back stitch. So I've done my top thread, and we really want to try and get our stitches a similar size, so you can draw dots on if that helps you, or you can just go for it like I am. Either one is fine. When you're pulling the thread through, just be careful you don't pull it too quickly, because what you don't want is it getting tangled. So just exactly what I said, you don't want it to get tangled, so take your time. If you punch the needle through and you think the stitch is going to be a bit too big or too small, just pull it back through before you pull the thread through, and just have another little go at getting the size right. So I might do the roof in a darker tone of orange and just keep the build in this tone. Going to do next is move on to the roofing, and I'm going to try and involve a different type of stitch this time. So I'm coming through, and then I might attempt a running stitch for this one.